Welcome to Contemporary Retirement. Contemporary Retirement is a public interest program focused on the retirement community. Every program has segments on legal, financial, and health issues affecting the retirement community. Contemporary Retirement is sponsored in part by a major grant from the Family Heritage Trust Company.
Contemporary Retirement is sponsored by Family Heritage Trust Company. The Family Heritage Trust Company is an independent bank chartered trust company established by local professionals to provide fiduciary services, including fee-based investment advice, trust services, retirement planning, and tax planning. The Family Heritage Trust Company is committed to client service in our communities. For more information, call the Family Heritage Trust Company at 301-631-5900.
Contemporary Retirement is sponsored in part by a grant from R. Thomas Murphy & Associates, P.C. R. Thomas Murphy & Associates is one of Franklin County's leading law firms, emphasizing estate, trust, elder law, and medical assistance planning.
Welcome to the Is It Legal feature on Contemporary Retirement. Is It Legal focuses on the legal issues affecting the retirement community. With me today is Tom Murphy from the R. Thomas Murphy Law Firm with offices in Waynesboro, Chambersburg, and McConnellsburg. Welcome to the show, Tom.
Good morning.
Tom, we've been going at the fact that this entire system from top to bottom, whether it is individuals, friends, neighbors, relatives, discharge planners, nursing home types, government agencies, when people find themselves suddenly interacting with the long-term care system, they're being told there is nothing that you can do.
Yeah, there's this disconnect between the rules and regulations that do protect people and what's being forced upon them. And it's almost as if the nursing homes and the state bully people into doing things that are against their interests.
And they get this sense, and they're being told, you know, we're here to help you. You don't need a lawyer because we're going to take care of all of this for you. And the reality is that you're essentially talking to a person who is economically incented to have you not find out that you have better options.
Absolutely. Based on the corporate culture out there that are just focusing on profits, it's a lot easier and beneficial to them for them to get the family to spend all the money, just spend it all. And then once you're broke, well, yeah, you can apply, but there are other better options for people.
And there are huge traps associated with that. First of all, you know, in married couples, is the personal residence. What happens to their personal residence?
It's protected. We transfer it over to the healthy spouse.
What about liens?
No liens if you do it right. Just move it right after the admission.
How can you move it to the healthy spouse? I heard there's a 5-year rule.
Not between spouses. They can gift every day for the rest of their life and it doesn't hurt them.
Between themselves.
Between
no
themselves.
problem.
Right.
Period. It also means is that as you're looking at a couple in crisis, meaning somebody's obviously at risk for the long-term care system, you don't have to do anything in advance. As long as you have a power of attorney in place, you're going to be able to protect that house.
Absolutely. The vast majority of the people we see come in after the admission, and that's when it's a prime time to begin the process to get them protected.
Well, that residence is sitting on a 1/4 acre. Suppose that residence is sitting on the middle of a 150-acre farm.
Still protected. Still the residence.
Automatically protected.
Automatically. We move it over. It doesn't matter what it's valued at. We move it to the healthy spouse.
Now, in Maryland, you bought the house adjacent to you so that your daughter could live in it because she had some economic divorce issues and so forth. In Maryland, any adjoining property, the personal residence, is automatically protected.
Well, Pennsylvania's got a different attitude, but there's ways to convert it to an exempt asset. So you go through the process at that point.
Federal law is clear. Family businesses are automatically protected. So, for instance, you could rent that house and then it becomes a family business and is exempt. Well, not a family business to my daughter. Yeah, we can actually make it look like a family business.
Well, yeah, a lot of people are involved with lumber mills and farming operations and car lots and whatever, and they are family businesses that don't count.
Including that duplex that you own downtown that you collect rent on, and perhaps even in Maryland, if you have a vacation home that you rent, you could exempt it as a family business.
Exactly, and it's just a matter of knowing those rules. And again, the vast majority of the nursing home and governmental folks are going to say, oh, it's an asset, sell it, let's spend the money.
Absolutely unnecessary.
Right.
You know, they say, well, you can only protect half of your money, all the rest of it you have to give the nursing home.
Well, no. I hear that a lot. You know, that was his and that's hers and they got to spend his. And no, you don't have to. You just need to take steps to protect it, and then the healthy spouse will be well supported.
You know, when we talk about spouses, you know, the fact is you must engage in these strategies to protect yourself, because if you spend money unnecessarily on the first spouse, you have compromised the security of the healthy spouse. You know, and we tell people when we're adding value. We tell people when we don't add value. But if you're sitting there being told you have to spend $100,000, half of $200,000, you've compromised the ability of that healthy spouse to take care of themselves.
Well, exactly. Because what good is it if you have an exempt residence, but you can't pay the property taxes, or you can't pay for the car insurance? I mean, it all goes into the well-being and the health of the healthy spouse.
Tom, as always, thanks for taking time to appear on the program.
You're welcome.
More from Contemporary Retirement after these messages.
Few things in life are as important as family. Leave your insurance worries to us. Write Gardner. Call or visit our website to learn how we can make insurance simple and more affordable.
Every life that meets its end leaves a heart for love to mend. Sister, brother, family, friends are left to carry on. When the loss seems more than you can bear, it's nice to know that we'll be there at Douglas A. Fiery Funeral Home. We care.
Call Ed Lowe to help put your mind at ease.
Welcome to a special guest feature on Contemporary Retirement. This segment focuses on various issues which are of importance to the retirement community. With me today is Beverly Stambaugh, Executive Director of the Red Cross in Washington County and adjoining areas. Welcome to the show, Beverly.
Thank you very much for having me.
Beverly, this has been a very eventful last 3 or 4 months for the Red Cross.
It really has. We've got 3 large disaster operations in progress, and it's really tapping our resources, but we're doing all we can to make sure that we're providing relief for those affected by these huge storms that have come through.
And so your organization is really has the ability to mobilize and provide assistance on a scale that most people have really no idea.
Absolutely. At the point during one of the points during all of these disasters, we currently had over 13,000 volunteers on the ground working, assisting those individuals in need. We served over 1 million meals. I can't even tell you how many millions of snacks and such have been provided. And 91% of those workers that are on the ground are volunteers. These are a lot of individuals who are already trained and in our system. However, we had a huge influx of individuals wanting to respond, as we call them, event-based volunteers, that they see the devastation and say, I want to help, and they contact us. And we kind of give them some quick boot training, get ready training, and we send them off. And they actually go for a full 2-week deployment, which is a lot to give up. Now they're sacrificing their home and their families and their time to help our fellow citizens in need.
And unlike first responders, the Red Cross is determined to keep their volunteers safe. So you're not in the middle of this stuff, but on the immediate periphery providing support.
Absolutely. We like to try to provide immediate comfort to alleviate the human suffering. However, it is very important that our volunteers who are out there working are not put in harm's way or become clients themselves. So we do really take that as a paramount, that when we're sending anybody out, that it's safe. I myself was actually deployed to South Carolina pre-Irma landfall, and I was a little concerned about my well-being. I'm like, you're putting me in the middle of an eye of a hurricane. But it was very safe. They don't send you out unless they know that they have a safe place and a shelter for you to be in, to be able to respond after the fact. But yes, that is very key, that not just our staff and our shelter workers and our volunteers, but everyone. We really want to make sure everyone stays safe.
And we just mentioned 2 elements there. The first element is the people who have been engaged in the system for a while, that are trained to deliver various types of support services, whatever their skill set allows them to do.
Correct. Yes. So we do have a large number of volunteers that have been in our system for a long time, which we're very grateful for. Those are the ones that respond right away, that have the training and ready to go. When we put the
So they might have this set up a a field kitchen or other support
exactly.
services.
They could be shelter workers, shelter managers, case workers, people who've gone through our training and know how to actually perform those duties on the ground in the affected areas.
But in the meantime, those people also need gophers, so you might actually send somebody down there that's really just to be labor.
Absolutely. There's so many different positions that are needed on a relief effort, including, as you call, a gopher, someone who can just be the one to run back and forth to get some more supplies, pick something up. But we really want to make sure that when we operate our shelters, we have trained individuals in there who know what our procedures are and how to best protect our clients and protect their security and their safety.
And of course, that brings one of the drivers of the Red Cross. It is primarily volunteer, and so we need people to both, respond to the big stuff, but also be available on a routine basis within our community.
Absolutely. We're always in need of more volunteers. I know that sounds probably a little tiresome to hear. However, there are everyday occurrences that happen right here in Washington County and across the 5 counties of Western Maryland. We need people to respond to fires to help those clients that have been affected. And we have a few that work in those positions. We could call them our disaster action team volunteers. And they basically go out and help a family after a fire. And if we have a couple fires in 1 week and we only have a small pool of volunteers, they get a little tired and may not be willing to respond, understandably so, because they're a little tired. So to have a nice base and pool of volunteers to call on is exceptionally helpful because it speeds up our response effort and our time. We like to be at a fire within 30 minutes of being dispatched so that we can get to those clients in need and provide that assistance.
But somebody might be watching and say, well, that's all well and good, but I'm not trained as a first responder. But in reality, you're looking for volunteers even within the local chapter for a multitude of tasks. No great skill sets required.
No, and there's no great skill set required for someone responding to a fire either. We train you, but basically you're there providing one of your fellow citizens, neighbors, comfort, some additional cash to help get them through the evening, and some resources to help them get back on their feet. There's so many other positions. We need assistance in our office. We need people to help actually receive calls from individuals overseas. We have lots of different opportunities for people to help out. So if you're not someone that wants to go out or leave your home, we have a lot of work that can be done right from your home.
Beverly, I want to thank you for taking time to appear on this show.
Thank you very much for having me. And if anyone is interested in joining 1-800-RED-CROSS or redcross.org.
Thanks.
You're very welcome.
More from Contemporary Retirement after these messages.
Tranquility at Fredericktown Assisted Living and Memory Care provides a warm, home-like atmosphere that promotes daily life enrichment. At Tranquility, our medical director is a geriatric physician. Our professionals support and understand the various stages associated with Alzheimer's and dementia. We have on-site physical, occupational, and speech therapists, as well as around-the-clock licensed nurses. For more information, give Tranquility at Fredericktown a call today, because everyone deserves great care. Let us do the caregiving so you and your loved one can embrace life again.
Dad, there's the big one. There's the big one. Just wait.
There's the monster.
Just one more bid on hurleyauctions.com.
I got it.
If you haven't visited hurleyauctions.com, you don't know what you're missing. Whether you're buying or selling, antique cars, tractors, boats, or real estate, you can do it all at hurleyauctions.com.
Get to know Dr. Carrie Hesley at Diagnostic Imaging Services.
What I find most rewarding is caring for women through our Women's Imaging Center. We have a caring staff that will ease patients through an ultrasound, bone densitometry, breast biopsy, or mammogram. Our health team is sensitive to emotions involved in women's imaging and understands that every woman is at risk for breast cancer. Providing the community with a center that is so dedicated to breast health and the imaging needs of women is something special.
DIS Women's Imaging Center, providing women with progressive care.
Welcome to Contemporary Health Scene. Contemporary Health Scene focuses on the health issues affecting the retirement community. With me today is Dan Day, Development Director, Star Community, one of my favorite organizations, but not well known within the community. Tell us a little bit about what Star Community is all about.
Okay, well, Mike, it's an organization. We take care of individuals with special needs. These are adults. We take care of them in a day program and with residential services.
Now, when you talk about those types of adults, what types of disabilities might we be talking about?
They're classified as developmental disabilities. This range includes Down syndrome, Angelman syndrome, cerebral palsy. They can have behavioral issues, autism, or a mixture of all those.
And so one of the things that we find is that, as they come up through the education system, the state is required to provide educational opportunities, but that terminates at 21. So your organization essentially steps in and helps families keep that developmentally disabled person active.
Correct. We step in, they come at 21, and they're with us many for the rest of their lives, which could be, 74, 76.
A number of years, and people sometimes need to understand this is not about a parent abandoning a developmentally disabled child. What happens is that parents have normal life expectancies. The developmentally disabled child may have a normal life expectancy too, which also means by definition they're likely to survive their parent.
Right, and you're correct. Parents don't abandon them. They stay very active at STAR. They visit often. They stay concerned about their children. It's just their children have grown beyond their own capacity to help them day to day.
And so you have a full-grown male who's 50 years old with parents that are 75 and 80 trying to help take care of that child could be problematic. But actually the way your system works, that child may have been involved in your system from age 21 and transition over a long period of time to actually being in your residential program.
Right. They can, as openings occur, we have capacity for 49 people in 10 different group homes.
In 10 different group homes, in what environment?
We are in a rural area along Broad Fording Church Road, 145 acres. The housing is around the perimeters. And people go back and forth and visit each other. They form friendships.
So how many people in the day program approximately?
Well, we have about 83, 84 people.
And so what happens is that oftentimes as a person is a younger disabled person, they'll be coming to your program as a day program to be active and engaged, allow their parents to go to work and to take care of their lives while having that person engaged. Tell us about some of the stuff that those people are likely to be engaged in the day program.
Well, we have 2 greenhouses, so they'll be tending and growing plants through all seasons. We have a recycling crew that does a couple neat things. They recycle computers, small TVs, and then we have ones that they also are ones that collect the mail and deliver it around campus.
And so what's going on here, Dan?
Oh, that's our Cause of Hope. That's a great story. People donate used clothing to us, and through a connection we have with the fire department in Hagerstown, when anyone is burned out of their home, we find out ages.
And you accept people from a radius of this, so it's not just Maryland?
No, it's just throughout the region.
Right.
Yeah.
What's this?
This is our cleaning crew.
Right, so they're doing cleaning. Do they get paid for this work?
They all get a monthly stipend, and it's a big day for them. They all look forward to payday.
And what's going on here?
Here they're recycling computers.
So you have that old television, that old computer, and we all struggle with what to do with it, and you'll tell them exactly what to do with it. Give it to us.
Give it to us, and we'll make good use of it.
And so they recycle it, and while it may not be economically viable at a high wage scale, it gives people an opportunity to be engaged, and it still makes some money.
Yeah, it does, and they love to do that.
And what's this gentleman
This
doing?
is Tom. Tom's an individual who was born without arms and legs, and he's learned to run a computer with a mouse stick.
And by the way, you have the permission of everybody to put these on, so we're not.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so what it is it's an opportunity to keep people engaged. Now, one of my favorite stories that you have there is you have an equestrian center. Every one of these people could ride a horse.
They could, yep, and some do.
And so how do they do it?
Well, they just make arrangements and get in a lesson group.
And so you have a ramp, so you don't have to
we
jump
have a
on
ramp,
the horse.
The horse goes in, and it's easy to mount. And they always, someone with special needs, they'll have 2 sidewalkers and someone leading the horse. And it's a very relaxing and
And
good
I've
for the
actually
individual.
used it for my older clients, so the public is welcome to, and the public is welcome to come visit at any time.
It is. We love the public to come and see what we're doing.
Dan, as always, taking time for appearing on the show.
My pleasure. Thank you.
More from Contemporary Retirement after these messages.
The Community Foundation has helped create signs of community strength for more than 30 years. Scholarships assist with post-secondary education, and grants support programs throughout Frederick County. Making a big impact. Because of generous donors like you. Add your sign of community strength by creating a fund that supports the causes you care about.
Albright, Crumbacher, Mal and Eitel are a full-service firm that provides elder care services including managing incoming bills, bill payment, depositing checks, balancing bank statements, and preparing, planning, and filing personal tax returns. Put your mind at ease and call us today.
Welcome to the Making Sense feature on Contemporary Retirement. This segment focuses on various financial issues affecting the retirement community. With me today, Sandra Miller, Senior Vice President of the Family Heritage Trust Company. Welcome to the show, Sandy.
My pleasure, Michael.
Sandy, as we look at investing and the trust company's view of investing, it's sort of a three-pronged test. You know, most people look at performance only, but they don't realize there's really several other components to investment advisory. You know, the first thing we look at is performance, and performance is a valid measurement, but there's a second measuring stick, and that is the amount of risk that you took to produce that performance.
That's correct, and the risk is in direct correlation with the kinds of investments and the amounts of investments, i.e. diversification, that you have in your portfolio.
And so we'll see somebody say, well, I matched your performance, and you'll look and they only own 4 or 5 stocks. So if they had a stock such as Enron in there, which was a go-getter, and Enron just tanked almost overnight, you would then find yourself with a 20% loss in that portfolio because of having too few holdings.
And I think it's become more and more apparent to investors that they can't just buy 2, 4, 6, 10 different companies and expect their portfolio's performance to meet or exceed what the general market is doing, because the market is made up of thousands of different companies going up and down all at different times. So your best bet is to look for an investment platform that has a wide diversification, not only of companies across the globe, but also the size of those companies and the market segments that they're in order to mitigate that risk factor, that volatility of that portfolio.
So when the trust company was created, they realized it could not manage money at world-class levels trying to do it internally. So what did they do?
Well, we went out and we shopped for an institutional money manager. Dimensional Fund Advisors is who we partnered with, and their portfolio ranges at any given time, their investment stock portfolio, of anywhere between 11 and 13,000 different companies, and as I mentioned, across the globe, various size companies, and various market segments. So when you invest in any of those platforms through the Family Heritage Trust Company, you're getting to, you know, swim with the sharks, so to speak, and get the institutional money management of a major $400 billion investment manager by just investing your, you know, $50, $100, $500,000 through our investment platform.
And so it doesn't make any difference whether you're 10% equities or you're 100% equities. That equity portion is going to be 12,000 stocks across the globe.
That slice of the big pie, you get all those ingredients.
And so going back to Enron was in that portfolio. Enron tanked, and it hardly mattered.
That's correct. And the interesting thing is that piece of the portfolio way back when was divested well before it tanked, because the statistics of that particular company didn't make sense. And that's what Dimensional focuses in on. They look at the numbers.
So what the trust company did is it went out and said, in order to appropriately manage risk, cannot do it internally. You have to go get world-class money management. And the role of the trust company is not to shill Dimensional, but rather to be certain every day that you have selected the right manager.
That's correct. And the one thing that we key in on is we look at how the money managers manage money. And what we found, even though Dimensional, as an individual, we couldn't just as retail clients go and have Dimensional manage our money. But what we found was we liked their theory behind how they managed that 11,000 company portfolio, which was very unique and different from just a mutual fund bundler, if you will. And once we discovered the theory behind how they performed, which by the way is as good or better than market performance, we partnered with them, and the clients have been able to partake of the platform that they have to offer.
And then we offer a very conservative bond portfolio, and so basically each client has an allocation. If their risk tolerance is low, then a little bit of stock, a lot of bonds. If their risk tolerance is more moderate, then more stocks, less bonds. And if they're Katie bar the door, let's go, then it's 100% stock, but it's up to the client. It's not dictated to them.
And we help the client understand where they really are on that scale of fear about being in the stock market. And we try to bring to their attention the fact that you're not investing just for today or tomorrow. This investment is something that's going to be long term, but you're going to be able to have liquidity with those dollars.
One of the challenges here is everybody wants to go to CDs that are super conservative, and they don't realize if you had an average CD rate for the last 10 years of 1%, inflation is 3%, you're losing 2% a year. And if you don't care, it doesn't matter. But if you're trying to grow an inheritance for your children or your grandchildren, you can't do that.
Right. You have to be able to show the buying power that's growing. So you've got to at least get a performance in excess of that 3% figure.
Inflation.
Inflation, yes.
Sandy, as always, thanks for taking time to appear on the program.
My pleasure.
Thank you from Contemporary Retirement.
Remember a more carefree time? Leave your insurance worries to us. Write Gardner. Call or visit our website to learn how we can make insurance simple and more affordable.
These days, it seems like everything's online, and filling out claim forms and receiving and paying bills online isn't always easiest. That's why we at Quality First Insurance encourage you to just give us a call. Let us help.
Hi there, I'm Paul Sweeney with Quality First Insurance, and it's still just this simple. Our offices are open every weekday where you'll be able to call and speak to real, live people.
No detail was missed. I'm so glad that I turned to Quality First Insurance.
I've recommended Quality First Insurance to my friends who've been just as satisfied.
If you're not happy with what you're paying for Medigap, or more importantly, not happy with your service, give us a try. We're locally owned, and we take the time to provide you with the best. We are Quality First Insurance, and our mission is to provide quality products to quality people. Pick up the phone and give us a call today at 800-745-1411.